Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Abhirup Chatterjee. Today I'll go over the step-by-step guidance on how can we integrate JUnit 5 with Cucumber, and also I'd like to go over the different new annotations in JUnit 5 which are commonly used. So let me share my screen. So if you can see here, I have created a sample project with JUnit 5 and Cucumber, and I have a class called calculator app. And in this class, I have four functions for addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. So I have written unit test for two of these functions, and I have written a Cucumber test for all the four functions. So first, I would like to go over the unit test which I have created. So the unit test class name is calcitest. And here I have the test method for the addition and for the multiplication. So in this, I would like to show the commonly used new annotations in JUnit 5. So first one I would like to show here is display name. So if we use this annotation and mention a name under the display name annotation, then that is the name we are going to see in the result section for that particular test. So I'll give an execution here and then we'll see how it looks like. So I have used for the sum test, I have used this display name as addition test, and for the multiplication, I have used the name as multiplication test. So you can see here, so it is showing the exact same display name what we have used. So for now, if I comment out one of the display name, in that case, we should see the method name, test method name in the result. So let me give an execution. Yeah, so if you see in the second test method, so the result name is the same as the test method name. So the next annotation I wanted to show here is disable. It lets the user to disable any of the test method if there is any reason. So for now, I enabled the disabled annotation under the multiplication test method, and I'm going to give an execution, and what I expect here is like this test method should not get executed since it is disabled. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so if you can see here, addition test got executed, but multiplication test did not get executed since we have used the disabled annotation. And apart from that, we have few other annotations like after each, after all, before each, and before all. So these names are self-explanatory. After each and before each means after the each test method execution or before the each test method execution, these annotations will be executed once. And before all is in the very beginning, one time it will get executed in the entire life cycle of the test, and the after all will get executed at the end of the all test method executions. So if I do an execution now, so you can see here before all got executed once, after all got executed once, but we have two test methods, and that is why before each got executed one time for each test method, and after each got executed one time for each test method. That's why we can see here two before each and two after each. I think that's pretty much about the annotations I wanted to show. Now I'll go to the Cucumber section. So in the Cucumber with JUnit 5, first thing we need to look into is the dependencies. So I'm going to the pom.xml, and here I have created two sections. First section is the JUnit dependencies, and the second section is Cucumber dependencies. So under the JUnit dependencies, I have JUnit Jupyter engine, JUnit platform engine, JUnit platform suite, and JUnit Jupyter API. Under the Cucumber section, we have Cucumber JUnit Platform Engine and Cucumber Java. So that should be it for the dependencies, and we should be able to do a successful execution with Cucumber and JUnit5 with these dependencies. So let me go to the run test IT. So here, if you see, we have couple of annotations like add suite, include engines, add select class path, and in the include engine we are specifying as Cucumber. In the select class path resource, we have mentioned the location where we have our feature files. So in this scenario, I have both the feature files located under features folder. So that is why I have mentioned here /features. And the last annotation I have here is configuration parameter. So here I can specify the tag name so that at runtime Cucumber will look into all the features and scenarios which will have this tag, and then it will execute those features or scenarios. So if we see here, so this feature has a tag called test me. This feature also had the same tag. So that means if I do an execution from here, it will execute both the features. Another important property here is JUnit platform property. And in this, we have couple of properties. And initially, I would like to set the parallel execution as false. And these two properties I'm going to talk later when I do a parallel execution. But for now, I would like to talk about the Cucumber glue property. So this is the location where we have our step definitions, so that at runtime Cucumber will know the scenario and step whatever we are mentioning in the feature file. For those steps, where do we have the step definition? So if you can see here, so I have this org example, and under steps I have the step definition, and where I have written the step definition for all the steps what I have mentioned in the feature file. So if I click any of the steps, it takes me here in the step definition file. So now if I give an execution, I expect the scenarios should get executed in sequence one after another. So you can see all the scenarios will get executed one after another in sequence, since I have not enabled the parallel execution. In the next execution, I'm going to enable the parallel execution. Okay, so it is done. So now I am going to make the parallel execution as true. And we have here the config strategy. If I make it fixed, that means I can specify how many threads I want to run in parallel. For example, I have specified here 4. That means all the 4 scenarios will get executed in parallel. You can see here all the 4 scenarios are getting executed in parallel here. And now there is one more option. I can make it dynamic. That means I do not need to explicitly specify the number of threads. So Cucumber will decide by itself based on the capacity of the system how many threads can get executed in parallel. So if I make it dynamic, so you can see it is running all the scenarios in parallel. So that is what I wanted to show, how we can integrate Cucumber with JUnit5 and the new annotations in JUnit5. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any question, you can please add it in the comment section.